how do you know that you have come to a Korean house? If you look at the door, what do you see? There's something missing. Exactly. We don't have a keyhole for a key. We don't use key. What do Korean people use? They use their fingerprint or password. So now I'm going to key in my password. And finally we're in. Let's go. Woo! 어서 오세요. Okay, so when you come into a Korean house, you see this blank area for shoe, right? It's called 현관. 현관. You need to take your shoes off. As any Asian houses, you need to take your shoes off. Don't put on your shoes and go in. You're going to get slapped, okay? Alright, so let's come in. Come. 가족한테 보여주고 싶지 않다. Alright, the first room I'm going to show you is the bathroom. Like in Korean bathroom, they have something very special that you don't really see in Western or Southeast Asian toilets, which is the bidet. What is a bidet? Yes, it shoots water out to clean your butt. And what I love about this is in the winter, it's going to get very cold in most of the places, right? And in the morning when you wake up, you need to sit onto the very, very chilling, freezing, cold toilet bowl, but the bidet will heat this part up so you can stay here for quite a long time, relax, reading books or looking at your phone, thinking about nothing, and let everything out. Let's get to the next place. And welcome to my humble little Korean kitchen. Okay, sorry. In every houses, not just Korean houses, every houses need fridge, refrigerator. And in Korean houses, it's slightly more special with the fridge. So what is special about their fridge? I don't have that. I don't have that in my house, but if you go to your Korean friend's house, they will have a tiny sections of their fridge that specially keeps kimchi. What that tiny box or tiny section is for is that it's not too cold and it's also not too warm like the normal refrigerator. It's not a freezer, it's not a fridge, it's a kimchi refrigerator. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. In the past, Korean people used to make kimchi inside of this clay pot and they will bury it underground so that it's not too cold, it's not too warm, it's just nice, it's just a cool, great temperature for the kimchi to become fermented and become tasty. And in Korean houses, because you eat kimchi almost every day, that's a stereotype, but it's kind of true, so they need a tiny section for kimchi. And I have two refrigerators because I have one of them for banchan. What is banchan? Korean side dishes. You have a lot of tiny packages of food inside of Korean families' refrigerator. They're called banchans. Sorry, it's making noise. Alright, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments and I'll try to get back to you. And now, finally, we are at the main kitchen part. If you look at this, this is a Korean sink. Nowadays, new apartments have this really special part of the sink. So normally, if you turn on the tap, the water should flow. But here, it doesn't flow. Step on this, and the water comes out. So I don't need to turn on the tap by using my hands. It's more hygienic, right? If you look at this part of the sink, you see that there is kind of like a sieve under the sink. This is because in Korea and Japan, people have to get rid of the food waste separated from other things. It's very important for us to do this well. Anyways, let's take a look at another part of the Korean house. Okay, we have two washing machines. We have a dryer and a normal washing machine because we have cats, so we use the dryers to get all the fur out of the clothes. And I have 4 boxes here. In Korea, yeah, we have to clean all the food containers, all the plastic very, very well. If they're a little bit contaminated, people are not going to collect them and they're going to become general waste and they're going to be, filled up in some landfill area. So make sure if you're in Korea, clean all those plastic containers. That's a tiny, tiny step to save our earth, okay? And oh, there's also a special part about the Korean stove. So I'm going to turn this on again to show you how it works. Alright. And yeah, just like normal stove, you switch it on. When the sensor senses that this is getting too hot, hotter than normal temperature, it's going to switch this off. 기다림. 송이 찍어. 송이. 넣으면 되고. Oh! Did you see that? Yes, it turns off because the sensor thinks that this is too hot. Anyways, smart stuff. Everything is smart except for me. Dumb. Anyways, let's go to the next part of the house. Here we go. A very, very nice and spacious living room. Okay, so what is so special about Korean living room? Okay, if you look at this floor, it looks very normal. This is very common in Korean. This floor actually gets heated up during the winter, so you can turn it on. There's a panel. Okay, if you look at this, there's a panel here. The nanbang system is actually created by Korean people. So Korean people are the first people in the world to create heated floor. So now we don't have it because it's summer, but in the winter you can turn this on and you can increase the heat. In Western countries you use radiator that's going to make the air very, very dry, and the heat is always going to come from just one spot of the room. It's not going to heat up the room quite well. But in Korea, the floor heating system is the best thing. If you ask every foreigners, they will tell you the same thing. They will say that they love the floor heating system. And therefore, you can also sleep on the floor if you want to in the winter. They all have, this is called 공기청정기, air purifier. So we want to make sure indoors we have good clean air to breathe in. That's why we will all get ourselves an air purifier. So here we have got 2 blocks of Samsung air purifier to make sure that at least inside of the house we have clean air to breathe. As you can see, they also tell us the air quality inside of the house, and it's going to clean out all this dirty fine dust in the air. Finally, our bedroom. It's pretty much the same as rooms in other countries. So you will see a cat in every Korean houses because we love cats. And the cat will always sit in the corner of our bathroom. Thank you very much for joining us today. Let's go. Oh, look at this. Do you know what this is? Most Korean houses, Koreans like to live in apartments, okay? So in most Korean houses, they will have a speaker on top of the ceilings that connects all the way to the control room, the security room, and from time to time, the securities will use this to announce stuff to everyone anyways. And now I'm going to show you a very interesting technique. Okay, if you look at this tiny panel, it says smart home right here. Can you see? Smart home. Okay, so if I press this, the lights will turn off. But this is a very good all-in-one button to go if you're going for a vacation. And this button right here, elevator calling button. And so when you're putting on your shoes, the elevator is coming up for you. And if you press this home button, you can see the time, the date. Right here, can you see? 미세먼지. 미세먼지 is fine dust. That's something every Korean cares about before they go out. It also tells you the temperature. If you want to turn off lights, like this. You can turn off lights, or you can turn off nanbang, which is the floor heating system. Elevators come. Can you hear it?
엘리베이터가 도착했습니다.
And now you know that your elevator is here. Bye-bye. Go. Shh. I need to sleep. Bye. Bye-bye. If you go to a Korean house and you see that the owner is pressing this, you know that the owner is asking you to go. You're staying for too long. Like right now. 가세요. 안녕히 가세요. See you again next time. Bye bye.